Hey guys, Brando here again with my February pickups. I got a lot of games and not a lot of time, so let's just get right down into it. I'm going to start off with my favorite system to collect for the PS1. I finally have over 100 PS1 games, and a couple of these pushed me over the limit here. A couple of these I got on my game hunt, a couple of these I got from Goodwill. I found the first two here at Goodwill. It is not a very good game, but I wanted to have it anyway. Sometimes collecting bad games can be just as fun as collecting good games, because you can sit down with your friends and kind of laugh at them and whatnot. But I got Independence Day on the PS1. Now, I don't know if this ever came in like a big box form at all, but I did find this and it was really cheap at Goodwill. This one, I absolutely love Tetris, so I got Tetris Plus. So there's that. Always cool to have another Tetris. Of course, I had to pick this up because the last video I had a couple Duke items. I found Duke Nukem Time to Kill. A couple bucks again with this as well. This game didn't age as well as I remembered, but whatever. The game I never played before back in the day, Gundam Battle Assault. This is basically kind of like a fighter, kind of like a Street Fighter Gundam game. And the odd thing is, okay, it actually doesn't have a book. It has just a printed label, which doesn't look too bad really on the camera thing, but got that right there. But you know, it's not too bad. I actually did find the second one that same day, but didn't pick that one up. I got Twisted Metal 4, which I used to love the Twisted Metal series back in the day. 2 is my favorite, followed by Black. This one allows you to create your own characters. Sweet Tooth kind of like takes over the tournament, which the powers like the ring, I don't remember that from the other one. But this one also did not age very well for me. I could still go back and play 2, but this one, it feels very tight and not very well with maneuverability. But you know what? I have it just so I can have all the Twisted Metals. And then this last one, I got Grand Theft Auto. I picked up Grand Theft Auto 2 in January, so I found the first one. Had to pick that up just to have the complete set. I'm missing the London one though, so I guess I don't have a complete set with that. So the last two on the PS1 are ones I've actually been looking for a while, and these are Lunar 1 and Lunar 2. And I have been looking for these complete for a while, and honestly, they're in pretty damn good condition for what I paid for them. Working Designs brought these games over to the PS1. Of course, these were originally on the Sega CD. And they just went all out on their packaging and everything. You get so much with these. You get the game soundtrack, making of, the manuals like a hardcover book with like a bookmark, and you get little map markers. I actually don't have every single thing for Lunar 2, which it was kind of sucks. Some of the map markers are missing. So not everything is complete with Lunar 2, but I have the games in almost near complete condition, and I'm very happy about that. I actually have the remake of the first Lunar for the PSP, and I don't have a Sega CD, otherwise I would try to track down the original ones as well. But Lunar 1 and 2, guys, really cool pickup for that. Next, for the PS2, a couple games. I got these first 3 at Goodwill. ATV Off-Road Fury 1 and 2, which I remember playing the first one back in the day. I never did play the second one. There's a few more of these as well, but I'm not too concerned about getting a complete set or anything. And then Ed and Eddie the Misadventures. I used to love this show on Cartoon Network. Really fun. I didn't even know they made a game. I think it came out like 2005 or something like that, so I wasn't really paying attention to like the cartoon games or anything like that was coming out. I think it came out for multiple systems though. I tried playing it and it's alright. The last 2 here are ones I've been on a real like RPG kick here lately, so I went ahead and picked up Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4 and Nocturne, which I never played either of these back in the day. These came out and I was nowhere near their radar. I think Persona 4 came out in 08 and this came out in 04, so no excuse on this one. This one I had already moved on to the PS3, so I didn't get a chance to play either of these. I did test these out. They're very like anime style based, so you know, pretty cool to find these out in the wild, and I'm looking forward to getting more in the series. My lone PS3 pickup was Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. This is a donation from my buddy Mike, and pretty much he upgraded to PS4 and didn't need this one anymore. This is of course the MMO, and this was the re-release that came out to consoles and also to PC. I don't really play MMOs, so I don't know if I'm actually going to like really check it out. I may, but that's a big maybe. I'm glad to have this. I want to have like a complete Final Fantasy collection, and he said he'd rather have it like collecting dust in my collection than in his, since he moved on to the PS4 and doesn't need this anymore. So moving on to the Game Boy Advance, I got Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury, which is the third game for the Legacy of Goku series on the Game Boy Advance. They're like action RPGs. You know what? I played the original Legacy of Goku when it first came out, and I had some sort of a draw to it, but I never had a Game Boy Advance. But so I've got this last one now, and if I ever really feel like diving into them, I have them. And it wasn't that expensive. The next one I picked up was Link to the Past 4 Swords. So I love Link to the Past, it's my favorite Zelda, and now I have it on Game Boy Advance. Very happy about that. This next one, my buddy Mike picked up for me because he found it out in the wild. It's Metroid Zero Mission. So basically this is a remake of the original Metroid from NES into 16-bit, and it's amazing. I cannot recommend this enough if you find this. Moving on to the Super Nintendo, I got a couple of pickups here. I got Super Star Wars, which I have Empire Strikes Back, so I need Return of the Jedi. These games are freaking ridiculous in how hard they are, especially Empire. But, you know, wasn't that expensive, so happy to pick that up. I got Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. My buddy Rob used to play this a lot, and I used to be kind of enamored with it and how kind of different it was. And I'm really excited to kind of getting into it and see what I really feel about it as I dive in. But the last one I got is F-Zero. Pretty much self-explanatory, had to pick up F-Zero. All of these were relatively cheap. Moving on to my other Nintendo finds. Couple of other Goodwill pickups that I got the other games at. Link's Crossbow Training for the Wii and NFL 2K3, which I loved the 2K football series. I'm not even a big football fan, I'm not even a big sports fan, but I dig the 2K series from back on the Dreamcast when I used to play it with my friends. And when it continued on other consoles, I definitely continued to play them. I think at about 2K5, but this next one I got was also for the GameCube, and it's Twilight Princess. And I used to have this on the Wii, but I actually didn't really like the motion controls. I really wanted to check out the GameCube version, and I like it a ton better. If you have a chance to pick this up for relatively cheap, go ahead and pick it up. I actually paid more than I kind of wanted to pay for it, but I don't really come across this too often in my area, so I went ahead and bought it when I had the money. So this game is pretty awesome on the GameCube, guys. If you don't mind the motion controls, play the Wii version because it's a little bit more common to find, but this one's where it's at for me. I got a couple of original Xbox games here. I got Otogi, Mark of the Demons. I saw this featured on Metal Jesus Rock's Hidden Gems video for the Xbox. Saw it for a couple bucks and picked it up. Also, another Xbox exclusive is Phantom Dust, which I never played, never heard of until the Microsoft E3 announcement that they were bringing this title back. So when I found it in the wild, which I'd never seen before as far as my recollection, I picked it up. The label's a little sun damaged, but it wasn't really that expensive, and I'm always up for getting exclusive titles, especially for the Xbox, because they're normally always pretty good. Well guys, I finally jumped in and I got myself a couple of amiibos, and I'm not really into collecting these things. I don't really hunt them down, but when I saw that these two were coming out, I did go out and I hunted them down, and I only had to go to 3 Walmarts. But so it wasn't really that bad, but I got them before. Now they're kind of scarce and I haven't seen them since. I got Sonic the Hedgehog and I got Mega Man, and these two I kind of want to like only collect these for like the kind of the marquee video game characters that they come out with for this series. I may get Mario, Link, maybe a few more, maybe Pikachu or Charizard, something like Pokemon oriented. Maybe if they come out with a Mewtwo, I'd love to kind of pick that one up. But so I knew they was coming out, I tracked them down pretty quickly before they became scarce. So yeah, amiibos. I own some, and I don't even own Smash Brothers. The next thing I picked up was another system, and I never really even thought of picking this up, but I recently picked up some new PS Vita games, and as soon as I started playing the Vita, my wife wanted to play the Vita. So I wanted another way to play some of my JRPGs that I got on the Vita, so I picked up the PS TV. Now, this came with a download for the Lego Movie video game, which I haven't even redeemed yet, but I probably will at some point. It comes with the system, and it comes with a new DualShock 3 controller, which I'm using my DualShock 4 controller because you can actually use the touch pad instead of just clicking the sticks to bring up the little touch thing. So that's pretty cool. And it came with an 8GB memory card, and these at GameStop were like $100. The only reason I even considered it was because my wife really wanted to play the Vita, and you know what? The games on the TV look pretty darn good. You can only tell kind of a difference when you're up close. When you're sitting far back like I do in my recliner, they look amazing. But this has been a godsend for us because now she can play the handheld and play her Rayman, and I can play this and play my RPGs. Now, I picked up some new PS Vita stuff. I'm really getting into the Vita, guys. It's a really good system. If only, I kind of wish they had a few more kind of big titles for it, because I'm almost at a point where I'm pretty happy with the collection I have. But starting off, I picked up Gravity Rush, which was actually, I don't know if it was a launch title or it was a really early title, I do know that. But it's definitely an interesting title. So I picked that up cheap. I picked up Batman Blackgate, which I think this came out on the 3DS first or something like that, and it got ported to some other systems. This is pretty freaking cool. It's kind of like a mixture of like a side-scroller beat 'em up with the kind of Arkham gameplay style. So it wasn't bad. It's kind of like a 2.5D, more like, but really cool. And the game that I've been playing the heck out of is Persona 4 Golden, which is ironic that I also picked up Persona 4 for the PS2. So basically, why I got both of them was I was really wanting to pick this up because I heard nothing but great things about it. And of course, the Persona 5 trailer kind of came out and kind of hyped me up. After seeing the Persona 5 trailer, I wanted to see if I was even going to like this series before I committed to getting excited for Persona 5. And I had a few places more to go and I hadn't seen this yet, so I came across this first. So I went ahead and bought this almost as a security measure in case I couldn't find this version. And I ended up finding both. And that's cool because now I can have this for collector's purposes along with Nocturne. And I can still have this to kind of play on the go and everything. Man, it's really good. Cannot recommend this one enough. The last one for the Vita, and pretty cool because by the end of the night I was trying to find the best ways to spend my money, trying to get the most out of my buck, and I found this one, and I've been wanting to check this out since I've been seeing some big videos of it on YouTube from the series, and that is Ys Memories of Celceta, yeah. Anyway, I ended up picking this up along with the other Vita stuff because originally it was just a case sitting there, and it said new 20 bucks at GameStop. So I took it up to the front, and he lays this big box on me saying, if you're really into the series, you should check out into getting this. We have this available as well. And I'm like, well, you know, I've only got a few more bucks. Is it any more? He goes, it probably is. And I'm like, well, then I'm not really that interested because I just want to pick up the game and see if I even like the series. And meanwhile, he can't find the copy of the game that goes with the case that I gave him because they have this little like inventory system where they have the little card that comes with the Vita games. That goes to a certain case, to a certain the barcode they have. And it turns out that the case actually went to this version, this big box collector's edition. And it was 20 bucks for everything in here. So I got a bunch of stuff. Comes with like a fold out map, soundtrack, a compass. Comes with a 120-page art book, a strategy guide. It's made to look like the main character's like journal and everything. This was an awesome pickup, and I could not believe that I got all that for 20 bucks. Online, they're going for a lot more. So if you see this and they have any more at local GameStops, go ahead and pick this up. I tried it out. It's pretty good, guys. And although I'm playing Persona right now, this is next on the list. Now, guys, the last thing on the pickups for today is something that I never thought that I'd see in the wild because this is actually a repro. We never actually got this physically in America. It came out on a reproduction cart, and that is Mega Man The Wily Wars. Now, I actually had an extra clamshell case and because it didn't come with one, and I printed out my own label because I found this just cart only. And basically it is Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 remade for the Sega Genesis in 16-bit, and this only physically came out in Europe. We got it on the Sega channel, which was like Sega's sort of like subscription service back for the Sega Genesis. You put your little modem into the Sega Genesis and you were able to play this game on that. But eventually they reproed it and brought it over, and I've seen it online before and that really looked cool. I'm a big Mega Man fan. But I found this out in the wild and I could not believe it. I jumped on this immediately and I wanted to have a case for it, so I had an extra clamshell laying around for some of my Sega pickups, and I tried printing a label. It doesn't look the absolute best that it could look. Once I get another ink cartridge, I'm gonna try it again and see if I can't get the dimensions just right. But for now, it'll work and it'll really look good on the shelf. This game is amazing, guys. Check it out if you can. Anyways, guys, those are my February pickups. I had another really big month thanks to tax season and everything. We got a lot of stuff coming down the line, so this is probably one of my last big hauls. I know I've been saying that for a while, but this probably is the last big one. I may start doing like a couple months worth of hauls. So you may see a lapse in videos, but if I'm gonna do that, then I'm definitely gonna start like making some other videos. Now that I have some like over 100 PS1 games, I actually want to do a retrospective on the PS1. So that'll probably be the next video that I do, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying life. So guys, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.